Can Arsenal still challenge for the title after yet another frustrating draw against Aston Villa? With key players sidelined, Mikel Arteta is under pressure to act fast in the January transfer window. The big question is, can Arsenal secure Benjamin Šeško, the powerful striker from RB Leipzig, to reinvigorate their title hopes? In today's video, we dive into the latest updates on Arteta's transfer plans, Arsenal struggles, and the potential move for Šeško. Stay tuned to find out how this crucial transfer window could determine Arsenal's fate this season. Benjamin Šeško has great technical ability on the ball. He's the kind of striker who can hold up play, bring others into the game, and still pose a constant goal threat inside the box. Last season, he scored 18 goals in all competitions, proving that he has the finishing ability to thrive at the highest level. One of the most exciting things about Šeško is his potential. He's still developing, but he already has all the attributes needed to become a world-class striker. He's strong in the air, clinical in front of goal, and has the intelligence to make smart runs that stretch defenses. Under a manager like Mikel Arteta, who is known for improving young talents, Šeško could take his game to the next level and become a major force in the Premier League. Now, here's where things get interesting. Reports suggest that Šeško has a gentleman's agreement with RB Leipzig, allowing him to leave for around £60 million in 2025. That means Arsenal could secure his services in the summer if they're willing to wait. However, with their current injury problems and the title race heating up, the Gunners might push for a deal in January. The big question is whether Leipzig would be willing to let him go mid-season. The Bundesliga club won't want to weaken their squad without securing a suitable replacement, and unless Arsenal put in a serious offer, Leipzig might prefer to hold on to him until the summer. But if Arsenal come in with a big enough bid, perhaps something around £70 million or more, Leipzig could be tempted to cash in early. If a move for Šeško doesn't materialize this month, Arsenal do have other options. Juventus forward Dusan Vlahovic has long been linked with a move to the Emirates, and he offers a similar physical presence to Šeško. However, Vlahovic would likely cost even more, and his inconsistent form in Serie A raises questions about whether he'd be the right fit. Another name in the mix is Viktor Gyökeres, the Sporting CP striker who has been tearing up in Portugal. He has a fantastic goal-scoring record, but his release clause is reportedly over £100 million, making a deal incredibly difficult. Then there's Nico Williams from Athletic Club. Arsenal are said to be very keen on the Spanish winger, but negotiations are proving tricky. His reported wage demands of over £300,000 per week could be a major stumbling block. When asked about potential signings, Mikel Arteta has been open about Arsenal's need for reinforcements. He's made it clear that the club is actively looking for solutions, but he also knows that January is a difficult time to do business. The market is inflated, clubs don't want to lose key players, and finding the right fit is always a challenge. That being said, Arsenal have shown ambition in recent windows, and if the right player becomes available, they won't hesitate to make a move. Whether that's Šeško, Vlahovic, or someone else entirely, the next few weeks could be crucial in determining how Arsenal's season plays out. So, will Arsenal get their man this January, or will they have to wait until the summer? One thing is for sure, the need for a top-class striker has never been more urgent. With the Premier League title race heating up and injuries piling up, bringing in a goal scorer could be the difference between success and disappointment this season. Arsenal's title hopes have taken yet another hit after a frustrating 2-2 draw at home against Aston Villa, a match where they let a comfortable 2-0 lead slip through their fingers. Just hours earlier, Liverpool had secured a dominant win over Brentford, widening the gap at the top of the Premier League table. While it might be too soon to say Arsenal's title challenge is over, the reality is becoming harder to ignore. They're slipping up too often, and with key players missing due to injuries, Mikel Arteta is running out of options. Arteta himself acknowledged this after the game, making it clear that Arsenal are in desperate need of reinforcements before the January transfer window closes. The big question now is, who can they realistically sign to turn their season around? And how will the ongoing injury crisis affect their transfer strategy? Let's dive deep into the latest updates, the potential signings, and what needs to happen for Arsenal to stay in the fight for silverware. It was supposed to be a routine home win, Arsenal had everything under control against Aston Villa, taking a commanding 2-0 lead, only for things to unravel in a way that's becoming all too familiar. Defensive lapses, a lack of composure in crucial moments, and an inability to kill off games have cost them dearly this season. Dropping points in matches like these can be the difference between lifting the Premier League trophy and another season of what could have been. Meanwhile, Liverpool, relentless as ever, capitalized on Arsenal's slip-up with a professional 2-0 win over Brentford. They've built a winning momentum, and that's what separates title contenders from the rest, finding a way to grind out results, even on tough days. Arsenal, on the other hand, have now dropped points in multiple winnable games, which raises serious concerns about whether they can truly go the distance. With Manchester City always lurking and Liverpool showing no signs of slowing down, Arsenal's title race is at a crossroads. The only way forward, strengthening the squad immediately. And that's exactly what Arteta is pushing for. Injuries have played a massive role in Arsenal's recent struggles, and the timing couldn't be worse. Their best players are dropping like flies, and without quality depth, it's beginning to show on the pitch. Bukayo Saka, the heartbeat of Arsenal's attack, is sidelined with a hamstring injury that required surgery. The club initially hoped he would return sooner, but new reports suggest he may not be back until March. That's a huge blow considering how much Arsenal relies on him for creativity, goals, and leadership in the final third. Without Saka, the attack often looks flat and predictable. Then there's Gabriel Jesus. His ACL injury is devastating news, not just for Arsenal, but for the player himself. He's set to miss anywhere between 9 months to a year, meaning Arsenal have lost their main striker for the rest of the season. Jesus brings so much more than just goals. His pressing, link-up play, and work rate make him a nightmare for defenders. His absence leaves a gaping hole up front that Arsenal simply cannot ignore. Defensively, things aren't much better. William Saliba missed the Villa game due to a hamstring issue, and Arteta admitted he is very worried about the situation. The Frenchman was instrumental in Arsenal's title challenge last season, and his injury last year coincided with the team's collapse in form. Without him, Arsenal's backline lacks composure and stability. On top of that, Ben White, Takahiro Tomiyasu, and Ricardo Calafiori are all nursing injuries. It's a crisis. There's no other way to put it. Arsenal simply cannot compete for trophies with this many key players unavailable. And that's exactly why Arteta is pushing for reinforcements in the transfer window. Mikel Arteta is not one to make excuses. He knows what it takes to compete at the highest level, and he's been brutally honest about Arsenal's shortcomings. After the Villa game, he didn't hold back. When you look at the bench, then probably, we are very short, he admitted. And he's right. Arsenal's squad depth is being tested, and they're failing. Edu Gasper, the club's sporting director, has been working behind the scenes to secure signings, but the January window is notoriously difficult. Clubs are reluctant to sell, prices are inflated, and negotiations can drag on until the last minute. Still, Arsenal can't afford to wait until summer. They need reinforcements now. Arteta's priority, a striker. With Jesus out, Arsenal are heavily reliant on Eddie Nketiah and Leandro Trossard, but neither offers the consistency needed to lead the line week in, week out. The club is actively exploring options, and several names have emerged as potential targets. Benjamin Šeško, RB Leipzig. Arsenal are reportedly willing to spend up to £70 million to bring in the Slovenian striker. He's young, powerful, and clinical, exactly the kind of forward Arsenal need to inject some firepower into their attack. Viktor Gyökeres, Sporting Lisbon. Another name linked with Arsenal. Gyökeres is a goal machine in Portugal. He'd be a statement signing, but his release clause is rumored to be over £80 million. Dusan Vlahovic, Juventus. Former Arsenal star Eduardo da Silva has urged the club to sign Vlahovic, but there are concerns about signing players from Serie A. Arsenal's history with Serie A strikers hasn't been great. Other possible options. Arsenal have also been linked with Nico Williams, Alexander Isak, Arda Güler, Brian Bumo, and even Marcus Rashford. These names show Arsenal are exploring multiple avenues to reinforce their squad. While Arsenal have the ambition to sign a big name, the January window presents unique challenges. It's difficult to negotiate major deals mid-season, especially with selling clubs reluctant to let go of key players. Prices are inflated, and rivals won't make things easy. Another factor is financial fair play, FFP. Arsenal have spent big in previous windows, and they need to be careful with their finances. A blockbuster signing might require selling fringe players to balance the books. Arsenal are at a turning point. The title race isn't over yet, but if they don't act quickly, it could be slipping away. The injury crisis has left them vulnerable, and Arteta knows reinforcements are a must. The next few weeks will be crucial. Can Arsenal secure the signings they need to stay competitive? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think Arsenal should sign? Can they still challenge for the title? Or is it slipping away? Subscribe for more updates, and we'll see you in the next video.